welcome. Welcome to the Kids for Kids Candlelit Christmas Concert 2023. Isn't it lovely to be here and to get into the Christmas spirit? And haven't our volunteers in the church done a great job at decorating around the church? And of course, we're going to have many more decorations to come as we approach the Christmas season. I find it particularly special having just flown into London from Albania, and I won't make you envious by mentioning what temperature it was there this week. Fantastic start with the trumpets. Thank you, Roy and the Thames Fanfare Brass. And I'd also like to welcome our celebrity readers and supporters. Our patron, Timothy West, sends his special regards. He'd wanted to be a reader as usual, but he's been summoned to an event at the House of Lords that he couldn't escape. But we're particularly delighted that his wife, Prunella Scales, is able to join us again. Thank you, Prunella. A highlight of our Christmas concert is always hearing a reading from Joanna Lumley. And we're in for a treat tonight, because while we may miss Timothy, it means a double dose of dulcet tones from Joanna. And some peers may pull in one direction, but our other patron, Lord Cope and Lady Cope, are here with us this evening. And John, thank you for your steadfast support as patron and support for the children of Darfur. Our special thanks also go, of course, to the Queensgate School. And so, Amy Wallace, thank you so much as principal, and for the wonderful, brilliant choir. Great to have you with us again. And this year, we're very privileged to have with us our special guest this year, Bibi Heel. Bibi, thank you so much for joining. A world-renowned soprano, she has a special connection to Africa through her children, and we're delighted that she's agreed to sing for us tonight. I'm particularly looking forward also to Stephen Barlow playing the piano for us. As you may know, Stephen, as well as being connected to Joanna, is one of Britain's most outstanding conductors, often seen at opera houses around the country, as well as being composer and pianist. So we're in for some real musical treats. And now we're going to ask Federica, head girl of Queensgate Junior School, to light the candle of hope. A light that shines out our hope for a brighter future, for children and families in all places troubled by conflict and poverty, but particularly for the children in Darfur.
chimney tonight, down the chimney, chimney tonight. Santa Beauty, always talking with the duplex and checks. Sign your X on the line, Santa Beauty, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Christmas tree, decorations for Tiffany. Sing if you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a ring. I don't mean on the phone, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight.
A visit from St. Nicholas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled, all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a lustre of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky, so up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur, from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry, his droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Madame Moustache has 17 children. It's not too many, but it's enough. And on the 20th of December, she asked them, "Well, Mademoiselle, do you know what you would like for Christmas? Perhaps you would like a little sewing set, or some pocket handkerchiefs, or a box of powder, or perhaps a little tea set, or a fireman who plunges and swims." "No," they said, "not. That's not what we want. We want a little sister, round and fat like a balloon, with a funny little nose and a mouth like a heart. We want a little sister." The following winter, Madame Moustache has 18 children. It's not too many, but it's enough. And she says to them, "Mademoiselle, what would you like for Christmas? Would you perhaps like a curly sheep, or some toothpaste, an alarm clock, maybe a tutu like the ballet dancers at the opera, or maybe a folding chair that you can put under your arm and carry?" No. We want a little sister, round and fat like a balloon, with a funny nose and a heart-shaped mouth. There are 19 children the following year. It's not too many, but it is enough. Christmas comes, and Madame Moustache says, "Have you decided, Mademoiselle, what you would like? Perhaps you would like eccentric games with motors and batteries. Perhaps an electric bear, or a hippopotamus powered by steam. Perhaps for your postcards, a beautiful album, or an automobile with pedals, or maybe an aluminium ring." No, they say. "No, we want two twins, two little sisters, exactly the same, with blonde hair and a funny nose." "Mais bien," says Madame Moustache. "It is too much, it may not be done. This year you shall have nothing." La jolie petite famille
by U.A. Fanthorpe, and it's called BC AD, Before Christ and Anno Domini. This was the moment when before turned into after, and the future's uninvented timekeepers presented arms. This was the moment when nothing happened, only dull peace sprawled boringly over the earth. This was the moment when even energetic Romans could find nothing better to do than counting heads in remote provinces. And this was the moment when a few farm workers and 3 members of an obscure Persian sect walked haphazard by starlight straight into the kingdom of heaven.
I think we've all been inspired to look out for St. Nick and his charming, maybe naughty little elves, Joanna, and also more seriously to think about the passing of moments, but also to watch out for asking children what requests they might want for Christmas. What a brilliant song. Thank you, Bibi and Stephen, or should I say, Madame and Monsieur Moustache. Now, they sometimes say that you have to sing for your supper, but tonight it's a bit different. You'll find gift aid envelopes on your pew or at the back. Do sign them and drop them in our baskets, please, before you leave, because gift aid, of course, means that your charitable donations go even further. You will have seen as you came in the sales table, gorgeous cuddly goats and other super Christmas presents, plus the chance to purchase gift certificates, the best gifts ever. Now, last year we actually ran out of cuddly toys, so you'll be delighted at how many goats there are at the back of the church. Just like those in Darfur, they seem to have multiplied. There are also badges and car stickers which are free, well, almost. We're actually hoping for generous donations, of course. Many organisations talk about sustainability, but one of the best things about Kids for Kids is how everything that we do is designed to be long-term. The best way that you can help is to make your support long-term too. In the programme, you have details of how to become a regular supporter, or maybe even a children's champion. You do get a rare gold goat like this one as a champion. And what if you want to win the Delamere Dairy hamper mentioned in the programme? Just text WIN HAMPER to 70215. But don't worry, if you're like me and can't remember numbers very well, then just turn to the back page of the programme. And my thanks and sincere greetings to Liz Sutton, our trustee, and Delamere Dairy for such unwavering support over so many years. And of course, you are all invited to join us for mulled wine and mince pies at the end of the concert behind the high altar. Thank you.
Torches, torches, run with torches all the way to Bethlehem. Christ is born and now lies sleeping. Come and sing your song to him. Torches, torches, run with torches all the way to Bethlehem. Christ is born and now lies sleeping. Come and sing your song to him. Row, 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 my baby. Row, 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 my love, row, row. Sleepy row, my autumn darling, while he sings to our row, row. Sing, my friends, and sing your friends, and joy and love and joy of friends. Lord, Israel, sing our present, now and evermore, amen. Long he lives, the King of heaven, now and evermore, amen. We're walking in the air. We're floating in the moonlit sky. The people far below are sleeping as we fly. Holding very tight. I'm riding in the midnight blue. I'm finding I can fly so high above with you.
This is a Christmas letter written from a war. It was written to his sister by someone I shall call Tom Atkins in a dugout in the British Army front line in France in 1914. A dugout is an underground shelter tunnelled into the earth from the bottom of a deep trench. And this is what he wrote. Christmas Day, 1914. My dear sister Janet, it is 2 o'clock in the morning, and most of our men are asleep in their dugouts. Yet I could not sleep myself before writing to you of the wonderful events of Christmas Eve. While you and the family sang carols there in London, I did the same with some enemy soldiers here on the battlefields of France. There's been little serious fighting of late. The first battles of the war left so many dead that both sides have held back until replacements could come from home. So we have mostly stayed in our trenches and waited. But what a terrible waiting it's been. Knowing that at any moment an artillery shell might land and explode beside us in the trench, killing or maiming several men. And in daylight, not daring to lift our heads above ground for fear of a sniper's bullet. And the rain. It has fallen almost daily. And of course it collects right in our trenches where we must bail it out with pots and pans. And with the rain has come mud, a good foot or more deep. It splatters and cakes everything and constantly sucks at our boots. But through all this, we couldn't help feeling curious about the German soldiers across the way. Their first trench is only 50 yards from ours. Between us lies no man's land, bordered on both sides by barbed wire, yet close enough that we sometimes hear their voices. Of course, we hated them when they killed our friends, but at other times we joked about them and almost felt we had something in common. And now it feels they felt the same. Just yesterday morning, on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve Day, we had our first good freeze. And cold as we were, we welcomed it, because at least the mud froze solid. Everything was tinged with white, while a bright sun shone over all. Perfect Christmas weather. And during the day, there was little shelling or rifle fire from either side. And as darkness fell on Christmas Eve, the shooting stopped entirely. Our first complete silence in months. We hoped it might promise a peaceful holiday, but we didn't count on it. We'd been warned that the Germans might attack and try to catch us off guard. So I went to the dugout to rest, and lying on my bunk, I must have drifted asleep. And all at once my friend John was shaking me awake, saying, "Come and see what the Germans are doing." And I grabbed my rifle, stumbled out into the trench and stuck my head cautiously above the sandbags. "What is it?" I asked in bewilderment. And John answered, "Christmas trees." And so it was. The Germans had placed Christmas trees in front of their trenches, lit by a candle or lantern, like beacons of goodwill. And we heard their voices raised in song. And when the song finished, the men in our trenches applauded. Yes, British soldiers applauding Germans. And then one of our own men started singing, and we all joined in. To our astonishment, we saw two figures rise from the trench, climb over their barbed wire, and advance unprotected across no man's land. Across the way, we could make out groups of 2 or 3 men starting out of the trenches and coming toward us. Then some of us were climbing out too, and in minutes more, there we were in no man's land, over 100 soldiers and officers of each side, shaking hands with men that we'd been trying to kill just hours earlier. Still, one can't help imagine what would happen if the spirit shown here were caught by the nations of the world. Disputes always arise. But what if our leaders were to offer well wishes in place of warnings? All nations say they want peace. Yet on this Christmas morning, I wonder if we want it quite enough. Your loving brother, Tom.
Our screens and newspapers are full of the horrors of the events unfolding in Israel and Palestine. I expect, like me, you're feeling huge sadness and frustration at our inability to stop such violence. But I suspect that each day you're not reading of the appalling murders, rapes and destruction in the very capital of Sudan and in Darfur. This is what is happening in Sudan, but the world has shut its eyes. The UN has called it, despite Palestine and Ukraine, the worst humanitarian disaster in the world today. Man's inhumanity to man is unimaginable to me, and I cannot bear it. The violence and extreme politics overtaking the world is not so far from us either. Our trustee, Khalid al-Mekki, had just said goodnight to his daughter at their home in Khartoum. She started upstairs, and a stray bullet shot through the window and hit the stairs between her legs. She might have been killed. The Rapid Support Force is being armed by the UAE, the army by Egypt. Clear violations of the UN embargo, yet there is no outcry. The 3 key people in Khartoum who keep Kids for Kids out of politics and ensure that our funds are safeguarded have all had to flee their homes. Those homes, which are so similar to where you and I live, are now taken over by the Rapid Support Force. The army is shelling civilian houses like ours. My friends have nothing left, no homes to return to. Over 7 million people have fled Sudan, but many cannot flee. In Darfur, women and children face guns and rape. Many are being taken as slaves. African men are rounded up and slaughtered by Arab militia. There is evidence of mass graves. Human rights organisations are appealing to the world to urgently stop these crimes against humanity. I'm sure you hear this terrible news and feel helpless. We believe nothing can stop the horrific path of destruction. But is there anything we can do? I believe there is. We can, and we should, write to the government, to our MPs, to demand action. I also believe that if we can save just one child, then we have helped. Because that little child, like every one of these wonderful children here tonight, is loved. And yes, we can indeed save that child. You will know that violence started in 2002, 2 short years after we had started Kids for Kids. Now those same horrendous forces are rampaging across the region. But through everything, Kids for Kids quietly persisted in transforming lives on a day-to-day basis in villages across Darfur. Today, there are 110 Kids for Kids villages. Well over 500,000 people help to stay in their homes. Their children are going to school. Right now, a young woman is struggling to give birth, but she is not alone. Healthcare has virtually collapsed across Sudan, but in our villages, there's a midwife standing by, trained and skilled. That mother in a remote village of straw huts will live because you have helped us fund midwives in every one of our 110 villages. Her baby will live because of the milk provided by our little goats. They will have water brought by our donkeys from our hand pump close by. And that hand pump bears the name of someone you love. Amazingly, in the midst of such violence and challenges, out of the gaze of the world's media, our villages are growing. Families are seeking the help of our midwives. When their animals need veterinary care, our paravets are helping. Although government schools across the region, the whole country, are closed, our kindergartens are open and welcomed 1,000 children in September. When I was in Darfur, a village leader said to me, "We have given up hope in the international community, but not in Kids for Kids. You are there for us." In all the 23 years since Alistair and I founded Kids for Kids, despite all the challenges, we have found ways to provide life-saving, long-term help to the most deprived families in the world. We are not giving up now. Last year, at this time, I told you that the World Health Organization had warned that a third of the population across Sudan would face starvation. In Darfur, there were floods in August. There was no spraying of standing water, and mosquitoes swarmed. Last year, you may remember, I told you there were 4 children in every hospital bed suffering from malaria. Many of those children died because they were malnourished and couldn't fight the disease. This year, there are more mosquitoes. But this year, there are no children in the hospital beds because healthcare across the country has collapsed. Thankfully, our policy has been to provide mosquito nets to all our villages and to every village that's asked us for help. I've lost count of the thousands of mosquito nets alone that we have provided. It's the personal stories that affect me the most, not statistics. I think of Ibrahim, the young man whom we first met when he was just 9 years old, 23 years ago, struggling to carry a jerry can of water from his walk for water. It took him 7 hours to reach the hand pump. Every drop of water for his family, collected by that one little lad. And I think of Ibrahim's little son now, who is at our kindergarten in their remote village. Thanks to us, thanks to you, he will have a future. We have always adopted as many villages as we can each year. I've chosen 5 villages to adopt this year, just as the violence erupted between the 2 generals. We will adopt those villages as soon as we can, but we do need the funds now, so that we can be ready. The immediate need is urgent life-saving aid. Khalid, our trustee, is now in Port Sudan. He and our project manager are coordinating our volunteers in Darfur. Yes, despite all their fears for their own families, they're determined to continue to help. We have sorghum, mosquito nets, jerry cans, veterinary drugs, and spare parts for hand pumps in warehouses right now. They're going to 16 of our villages. Then we will target 16 more. All our 110 Kids for Kids villages need us right now. The children and the people there need your help. But the exciting thing is that everything you provide, Joanna and 2 special friends have promised to double. There are no words. There are no words to thank her. What a blessing to have such an amazing patron. to thank Davina, Charlotte and Becca, who, like me, are ready and waiting to send your Christmas presents for you. Who wouldn't want a little goat or a lumpy parcel of spare parts for a hand pump on Christmas morning? But don't worry, your eagerly awaited parcels will be smart Christmas certificates. Your little goat will be nibbling grass outside a little hut in Darfur. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for coming and showing your support. I appeal to each of you, please become a regular giver. If you can, could you become a children's champion, as Alistair explained? You choose your projects and commit to 3 years. That enables me to plan and not to let down the poorest people in the world. And do tell anyone you know that they can help too. The children are showing us that no one is too young to make a difference. The need is off the spectrum. The world is not listening, but you clearly are. You know about Ibrahim, the little boy who inspired all this. What an impact that one little child has had. Girls, you've sung stunningly beautifully tonight. Please support us through the year ahead. Please tell your friends in other schools, or when you move on, we will lose some of our wonderful singers, of course, because we're going to move on. Think of us throughout the year ahead. Tell your friends, and tell them they can do things too. You might challenge yourselves and get sponsorship. Grandparents are very generous. Have you thought of a walk for water? Though I'm not suggesting you walk for 7 hours and 7 hours back, which is what that little 9-year-old had to do every single day. If each of us here, right now, did something, just one thing, the impact would be huge. I did step-ups last month, and I actually raised enough for a midwife. Please tell the world of the violence in Darfur. Tell them that after all, we are not helpless. Those children need us, need you, right now. May I wish you all a happy Christmas. And now is the time to bring the light to the world. When the girls come to light your candle, please hold your candle still and true, and let your neighbour light theirs from it. Then hold yours steady too. In the midst of darkness, let us bring light to the world.
To chase away the darkness and
May the Blessed Virgin Mary, the God-bearer, St. Joseph, and the whole company of heaven surround and enfold you in their strong and loving presence. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, come down upon you and all those who love, this night and forevermore.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all. With those holiday greetings and fun, happy meetings and friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time, the happiest time, the most wonderful time of the year.
It really is the most wonderful time of the year, isn't it? I'm very moved by John's reading of how British and German troops came together over Christmas. I find it particularly emotional because that spirit of coming together across divides is so rare, so special. Each year on Remembrance Sunday in Tirana, the German ambassador and I come together to hold a service to show that we can overcome conflict and to remember those who have lost their lives and to think of those who continue to lose their lives if we fail to stop the violence wherever it happens around the world. If, like me, you love the Snowman, Bleak Midwinter and Mozart, then I hope you'll have been enjoying the wonderful feeling tonight that such lovely music inspires floating in the air. Thank you, Bibi. Thank you, Paulina, Fabiola, and Queensgate Choir, and to all our soloists and singers. Thank you all. I'd also like you to join me in giving a special thanks, please, for all our wonderful musicians, our trumpeters and brass, and in particular conductor Ian, organist Roger, sparkly pianist Mitra, and for my favourite instrument that I wish I could play, harpist Leslie, who played for us so beautifully as we came in and just now. It's also for all of the hard work by all the musicians and singers to prepare for the concert this year. And as every year, that is much appreciated. Thank you for your generosity and superb musicality. And we need to thank our volunteers as well, and they really put their love and care in to make tonight special. And we heard from Patricia what a special major opportunity we have through our Christmas doubling campaign. So any donations made either tonight or any time up to the 31st of December will be doubled. Dame Joanna Lumley, you are an amazing patron. Because of you and your two special friends, the amount we donate tonight will be doubled, and if we could raise donations all the way up to £27,500, that sum will be doubled, generating a huge £55,000. We heard from Patricia how much our help is needed now, right now. Just think of the impact and real Christmas and New Year presents we could give to children in Darfur if we reach our Christmas doubling total. So if you're stuck for a Christmas present, or if after Christmas you or your family feel like sharing the glow from what I hope will be a lavish Christmas meal, then you or your friends still have time to contribute to the Kids for Kids Christmas doubling campaign. And the fun doesn't end tonight. You will see our online version of this concert will be on Thursday, the 14th of December. Another chance to hear this extraordinary music and to join in. And do remember that if you have tickets for tonight, you get a special rate of just £5 to join online. And do please encourage other friends who cannot be with us tonight to participate next Thursday. Persuade just one friend and think of what a difference that will help you and them make to children in Darfur. Now please, donating the baskets that come round, or the ones at the back, donating the gift aid envelopes. If you want to make card donations, please go to the back of the church and you'll find the wonderful Charlotte or Davina, our core team, who've done a brilliant job in organising tonight and our wonderful programme. And of course, don't forget that you can buy our gift certificates to give not just someone in the UK, Europe or the States, but also a child in Darfur the perfect present for Christmas. After we've heard the last fanfare, I look forward to talking to you over mulled wine and mince pies, and please do think of suggestions for how we can each do more to spread the word. Most importantly, may I wish you all a very happy Christmas.